for the fans, welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
This is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on the For the Fans Twitch network. We have had a blast here on Saturday in Week 7 of the SFL. Can these two teams continue the trend of tight games and late-game heroics? We're about to find out here in South Dakota with the Sioux Falls Sparrows hosting the Vancouver Legion. Hello, everyone. I'm Tyler Falk, and welcome into Liberty Park, here in the shadow of Mount Rushmore. Mark Lopez is our man on stats, and Ryan Cadil joins me here in the booth. Ryan, it's old school versus new school. Vancouver has a high-flying air raid offense, and Sioux Falls runs with the ground attack. My question to you is, can Sioux Falls finally unlock their offense today?
Yeah, that's going to be the big key. Vancouver, they've been the big offensive team with not a great defense, and Sioux Falls has been just about the opposite. Not the best offense with a great defense. So it's really going to be a key here for Sioux Falls to get their ground game going early and keep that ball moving. If they can get on the board early, they can win over on that Vancouver defense, and they can win on their defensive side of the ball. They know they have an amazing passing defense, and they're able to limit so many teams to not a lot of yards, and Vancouver is just the epitome of that kind of team. They love to run the air raid. They love to go for these shootout type games, and that's what they've seen time and time again this season. I think the big story is going to be, can the Sioux Falls offense keep up with that explosive, high-powered Legion offense?
If one thing is going right for Sioux Falls here in this matchup history is they have the winning record over Vancouver with 4 wins and 2 losses, and the last 3 matches between the two teams have gone to Sioux Falls. They're in black and gold, and Vancouver's in all white. As Rakelsi gets us going, as here we go! Week 7 from Sioux Falls is underway. Return by AJ Levy is going to be a good one up to the 34-yard line, and that'll bring out Sioux Falls' offense for the first time today. Quarterback Julian Tyree, halfback Cullen Hart with fullback Charlemagne Cornelius. 4 wideouts take to the field. Gunnar Lewis, Noe Terrazas, Al Dilapre Sr., and Kay Marion with 2 stud linemen, Nathan Ferry at center and Dusty Wilson at the guard. Sioux Falls come out in a run-heavy look. Only 1 wide receiver tucked in tight. Handoff up the middle is going to go for no gain as the Vancouver defense gets to Colin Hart in a hurry. Let's meet that Vancouver Legion defense. Gerald Giudice, Achilles Papatonis, Mike Coverson are the defensive linemen, with Josh Stephans Farnsey and Kevin Brackett at linebacker. 3 corners, Kyler Murray, Arf, Ashley Rose Finch, and Dean Maddox take to the cornerback spots, with 3 safeties behind him. Major Key, Mark Lopez, and Drew Hamilton. 3 wide out. Sioux Falls looks to pass here on second down as Tyree finds his man there on the far side for a good pick of a 5 before he eventually runs out of bounds. That's Noe Terrazas, the tight end conversion over to wide receiver.
And slowly this drive has gone down to 3rd down, and Vancouver's defense here really picking it up. They had a great stop on 1st down, really stuffing that run right before it could get going and making a good play on defense there as well.
They'll flip the formation as Hart moves to the right, the only back in the backfield behind Tyree under center. He's back to pass, has time, looks for a wide open receiver over the middle. That's caught, and for first down yardage down to the 47.
Great protection there from the offensive line. They gave Tyree just the right amount of time that he needed. His receivers got open, and they were able to get that first down.
Start the drive as they are able to convert on the first 3rd down they face, and Sioux Falls is inching closer to the midfield stripe. Offset eye behind Tyree, wide receiver tucked in near side to the left. Hart has a run to that side. He's going to pick up 8 yards, dragging defenders with him down to the Vancouver 45.
And this could be a different Sioux Falls offense that we've seen this season. They haven't really been able to get and hit the ground running really and get that offense developed, but that could change today. They have a bit of an easier matchup on defense.
Power I formation on the field. They'll pass out of it. Tyree trying to look for Hart. Does. Near side as Tyree bulldozes a defender and picks up the first down. He knocked aside Dean Maddox the corner and goes down to the 39-yard line.
Colin Hart is one of the premier backs in this league. Been around 7 seasons, all of them with Sioux Falls. And he really is one of those names that's synonymous with great rushers in this league. On the other side of the ball, you have Robert Redford for Vancouver, another one of those names.
2 tight ends to the right, 2 wide receivers, and Hart in the backfield. They'll pass on this first down. Looking underneath is Tyree. Finds a wide open receiver under the soft coverage, and he turns the corner and finds the first down yardage. That's Kay Marion, her first season in Sioux Falls as she transferred over from the DC Dragons in the offseason.
And some great fight in her there. Once she gets the ball, she's still able to fight for those extra few yards and pick up that first down.
She leads the team in catches, yards per catch, and touchdowns as Hart gets the call on this first down and again is stopped up short of the line of scrimmage. Great tackle there by Mike Coverson.
Coverson coming in for that defensive line and hitting Colin Hart before he could get going anywhere. Right at the line of scrimmage, he goes down. And Vancouver today, they're going to have to be very prepared for the rushing attack of Sioux Falls.
Backs in the backfield with 3 wide receivers. Tyree looking deep over the middle. That's caught, breaking a tackle and waltzing into the end zone. The Sparrows strike first. That's Noe Terrazas for the touchdown for Sioux Falls.
That was one of the keys to the game coming into this. We said they had to get on the board early, and they do. They find the end zone, and a beautiful drive from Sioux Falls. They use the rushing attack of Colin Hart. He's able to find good yards, good first downs, and Tyree is the passing game and the complement. They find the end zone, and Sioux Falls finds the first points of the game.
Almost nothing bad happened on that drive for Sioux Falls on that 8-play 66-yard drives where Julian Tyree went 5 of 5. A great start for the Sparrows. And on comes Sammy Profontaine for the extra point. Low snap corral. Snap spot barely blocked, but it goes up and through the uprights. 7-zip. The Sioux Falls Sparrows take an early lead.
And I think if you're Sioux Falls in this game, you know the offense that you're up against in Vancouver, and you know every time that you go out on that field on offense, you have to score. You have to put some points on the board because you know Vancouver's going to do the same thing.
And the Sparrows went to the passing game a lot more often than they went to the run game that time around, and we'll be hoping for more of that on their next offensive possession as they kick it away here to Vancouver. And it's going to be a solid return up to about the 30-yard line. And on comes the Vancouver Legion offense. Tom Pepper is the quarterback, with Robert Redford at halfback. Brett Killian, Kendra Hall, and Chris Curtis man the wide receiving spots, with James Walters and Dan Daly at tight end. 2 standout linemen, Michael Percoco and Mike Newtones, both 3-season vets, guarding the line for Tom Pepper. Pepper back to pass, will dump it off to Redford on the near side. Yes, room to run there, and he's going to scamper for a nice first down on the first play from scrimmage.
Yeah, one of the best backs in the league. 8 seasons in the SFL, only 3 of them here in Vancouver, and he's made a big mark on this team and a big mark on the league. He's nearing 1,100 total yards on the season, and he's second all time in that stat.
Looking to see what he can do here, both in the air and in the ground, but Redford gets his first touch on the air. New set of downs on the second play of the drive. Pepper in the gun. Redford to his left along with 2 wide receivers in that direction as well. Play action. Deep bomb for Pepper over the middle to a wide open receiver. That's Brett Killian. Burger King straps out of a tackle, and he's gone. Touchdown, Vancouver. They answer on just 2 plays.
All they need is 2 plays to find the end zone, Tyler. And who else but Brett Killian? This Vancouver offense is just insane. They're so good at finding those over-the-top routes and finding these huge plays. And they get the touchdown just like that. And Sioux Falls is going to have to come back on the field and answer it. And this is what we talked about. The high-powered offense, Tom Pepper and his receiving trio is just unstoppable.
A 59-yard bomb from Pepper to Killian. And here comes the extra point from Rakoski. Snap, spot, kick is up, and we are back in tied. And we are wondering here, Ryan, whether or not the fireworks will continue here on Saturday. And indeed, we're just not even to the halfway point in the first quarter, and we've got score, back-to-back score.
Yeah, 2 drives and 2 touchdowns. It doesn't get much better than that. And fans of offensive football are going to love this game.
Now Rakowski is going to kick this one away. Over to AJ Levy. He'll get another chance to return one. Starts from about his 14-yard line. Has a block at the 29. Angles to the near side. And is wrapped up at the 33-yard line. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at www.simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. Sioux Falls replicate what they did on the first drive on this second drive of the ball game. They hand off to Hart, and if that's anything to show by it, Hart being stopped up at the line of scrimmage yet again. And this time, it's going to be Josh Farnsey with the stop.
Now that main front 5 of Vancouver has really been unstoppable today. Colin Hart has had a few good runs, but a lot of them, he's been stuffed right at the line before he can get anything.
3 wideouts and 2 backs in the backfield for Julian Tyree, who's under center. Quick drop. Fires near side. That's hauled in for a good little pickup of about 6 yards. He finds the man who got the touchdown on the first drive, Noe Terrazas, with his 3rd reception of the ball game.
Julian Tyree going steady here in this first quarter, had a great first drive, went 5 for 5, now completing his first pass. And last week he had 4 interceptions, no touchdowns. And hopefully this weekend he wipes the slate clean and it's a new day.
Tyree now goes in the gun here on 3rd and 4. Quick arrow route underneath, they'll go over the top, and that's into coverage and picked off. Good little play by Drew Hamilton with a good pick, and Vancouver will take over at their own 45.
Now one of the biggest ball hawks for Vancouver. He's had a monster season, picking up 7 interceptions, and that is now his 8th. And this Vancouver defense is dangerous. I said they've allowed a lot of yards this season, but they've been amazing in the turnover category. 16, now 17 takeaways this season.
On comes the Vancouver offense. 2 wide receivers to the right, 2 tight ends on the line to the left, alongside Redford in that direction as well in the single back set. Pepper finds Redford on the near side as Redford will turn the quarter and pick up 8 yards, and will introduce you to the Sioux Falls Sparrows defense. Biff Markham is a rookie defensive end who joins James Kelly and another week 4 free agent signing Buck Behemoth at the defensive line spots. Derek Williams, Axel Raven, and Nick Fargo are the linebackers, with John Barnhart and Terrell Davis at corner. Jay Ringgold, Nathan Barnett, and A.J. Levy round out the lineup at the safety spots. Pepper takes a deep drop and will dump it off for Redford on the near side this time, who makes a man miss, spins away from a tackle, and heads down to the 40-yard line. He just put Axel Raven, the rookie, in a spin cycle, and unfortunate for the Vancouver Legion is their fullback. Brick Wall is down on the play.
Yeah, if you're the Legion, you want nothing but to be excited about that play. A great sprint move, and that is awful. A non-contact injury for the fullback, and that is just bad spelling for Vancouver. You hate to see a guy go down like that, especially when he's not getting hit. You know that's a structural part of the knee, and that is a tough loss for Vancouver.
We hope it's just cramps so he can come back on the field and continue to block for Robert Redford. We'll get an update for you shortly. As now Vancouver come out with 3 wide receivers, and Redford, the single back behind Pepper. Pressure coming quickly as Pepper gets this one away and finds Brett Killian for a good pickup of about 5 yards.
Now we'll see if he got in bounds there. It looked like his feet may have been out of bounds. We'll see what they end up calling it on the field.
It does look like they do give him the reception, so about 4 or 5 yards here to start off this new set of downs. So second down from about the 41-yard line. Identical formation. Pepper looking over middle, fires into coverage, and it's knocked aside. Derek Williams in on the coverage, and it's third down.
Oh, that was a great little play by the linebacker there, seeing exactly where that ball was headed, and he flies in the air, gets his hand just in the area, able to tip that ball away and force an incompletion.
That's what you're looking for from your rookie defensive core for Sioux Falls. Couple rookies and a free agent coming in during the offseason and just a few weeks ago. Need to see more of them to make those steps up as we continue throughout the season. Pepper, deep drop. Now a fire to the near side on the out route. Finds Brett Killian short of the sticks. It'll be 4th and 2 from the Sioux Falls 32.
Another toe tap catch, but it is not enough to get the first down there. And here at the 32-yard line, it'd be a bit of a distance, but I think they can go for the field goal here. It'd be about 49 yards.
4th down. On comes the offense. Tom Pepper in the gun. Killian and Hall to his right. 7 seconds left to go on the play clock. It just appears that we're going to go ahead and take a timeout for Vancouver. And on comes the special teams led by Ramon Rakowski to tack home a field goal.
Yeah, good call there from the Legion. Trying to draw Sioux Falls offsides, but it just doesn't work. Good patience from Sioux Falls. They don't jump the gun, and Vancouver just going to settle for the 3 points.
On comes Ramon Rakowski. He's been pretty solid. No, and they're going to go ahead and punt it away as maybe there's some wind blowing that we can't quite see just yet. So it'll be Brian Patrick, the punter, to take the field and try and pin Sioux Falls deep. Good spiraling punt, angled to the far corner as it bounces once, takes a Sioux Falls bounce, but the hands team there for Vancouver downs at the 5-yard line, and so Sioux Falls will be backed up into the shadow of their own goalpost.
Yeah, interesting call there for Vancouver, wanting to play the field position game. I think they trust their defense here. You know, you wouldn't maybe go for those points if you didn't have any trust in your defense. You know that they are capable of making a stop here on Sioux Falls, and this is the time to put it to the test.
Dangerous territory for an offense. Back in your own territory. Tyree looking near side, has his man. That's Noe Terrazas on another catch. Good for 3 yards.
Yeah, the man with the touchdown earlier gets another completion, and that's going to move Sioux Falls just a little bit further, but it gets them a little bit out of the shadow of their own end zone, which is really a scary place to be in if you're a quarterback and you want to drop back and take a pass. You have to, you know, be aware of that safety possibility. So those extra yards give a really big cushion.
Tyree looks to pass again over the middle. That's caught. Hauled in for first down yardage near the 20-yard line. That's Kay Marion, her second grab of the day.
And Sioux Falls moving the ball just a little bit more. Marion making another good catch, this time over the middle. Nearly over the defender there and just right in between the seams, right in between the zones there. The linebackers were covering and the safety. Well-designed play call there for Sioux Falls.
Come out, split back again. 3 wide receivers in the formation. Tyree drops short, fires near side for Terrazas, and he hauls it in again. This time a pickup of 5 and an update on Brickwall, the fullback for Vancouver. Looks like just maybe a twisted ankle, and he is expected to return.
Yeah, sigh of relief for Vancouver. Those injuries, especially when they're non-contact, can become very serious, but it's nothing more than a twisted ankle, something he can just walk off.
Just a couple ticks over 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Sioux Falls, Vancouver tied up at 7. Tyree goes back to pass, launches it near side, and that's deflected. Fantastic coverage from Kyler Murray to swat that one away.
Yeah, and saving what could have been a touchdown there if he's able to find Marion in the air. That was a deep bomb. Threw that ball about 35 yards in the air. Tyree did, showing off that arm strength.
A big third down for the Sparrows for a drive that started 20 yards back near their 5-yard line. Can they continue the momentum and convert here on third down? Tyree goes back to pass, launches another one near side. It's again deflected by Kyler Murray. They try to go back to the well twice, and twice Kyler Murray was up to the task.
He's prepared for the first one, but Tyree threw a little wrench in the plan, say, hey, what if we go to him a second time? He'll never expect it. But Murray got a good brain. He knows when they're testing him, he's able to get that and nearly gets an interception for himself.
He's got that high play IQ, does Kyler Murray, as he forces Sioux Falls to punt this one away. Max Holt will angle his punt near the near sideline. Fair catch called for and hauled in at the Vancouver 43. And on comes the Vancouver offense as they elected to punt the football away near field goal range. We'll see if they can tack on a few more points here, Ryan.
And it looks like that ended up being a decent call for them. They get the ball back. Their defense is able to hold Sioux Falls. And Vancouver, they trust in their offense. They think those, extra 20 yards aren't that much of a deal. And when you have a big, powerful offense like that, they're not.
First down will be a run for Redford to the far side as he struggles to try and evade the tackler. Does fall forward to pick up 2 yards, as Biff Markham just dragged him down by his shoestrings.
And that's the first rushing attempt that we've seen from Redford. Every work that he's gotten has been a reception, so now trying it on the ground.
This time Pepper will pass it, fires far side, and that's hauled in. Pick up of about 3, down to their own 48. That's hauled in for Kendra Hall's first grab of the day.
And every reception for Vancouver so far has been Brett Killian or Robert Redford. Now they're getting Kendra Hall involved and needing to find all those receivers. You can't be one-dimensional with just the Killian and the running back. They've got to change it up, and they go to Kendra Hall for just that.
Big third down here for the Vancouver offense. Need to get to the Sioux Falls 47 to convert. All slants pattern over the middle. That's hauled in. That'll definitely have enough yardage to convert. That's Dan Daly, the tight end, and it's a first down for the Legion.
Yeah, and spreading the ball out, like I just said, Tom Pepper finding his man and putting together a good day's work so far. 8 completions on 9 attempts so far. Has a good QBR as well, finding the first down and converting the third.
First down on third down for the Legion. Now at the 40-yard line. 2 wide receivers to Pepper's right. He'll pass underneath near side. That's hauled in. Tough yardage. Gain of 7 for the Legion. And they're at the 33-yard line. Daly on his second catch in as many plays.
And both times he gets the bang route. He gets the throw across the middle and then gets smacked by the defender twice in a row, taking the big hits. And that's why he's the tight end.
Single back ace formation for the Vancouver Legion here on second and short. They'll run with Redford. As Redford struggles on a couple tackles, gets lit up by Axel Raven, and they'll give him the first down yardage. That looks an awfully generous spot.
Yeah, and Sioux Falls, they definitely could go for a challenge here if they want. I think it would go their favor. The spot looked a little bit short, but he may have gotten his arm across that line.
They'll go back to the same exact formation. They'll run again. Same play for Redford to the far side. Has blockers with him. He struggles on another tackle. Axel Raven tries to deny him and does to the 5-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle for the rookie, but Robert Redford, the natural, with another terrific run.
And we've seen the first drive of this game was throwing. The first couple drives, they've been throwing the ball a lot, but now they change it up. They go with the run, and Redford catches them all off guard. That time, a 25-yard run, and they're in red zone, and a first and goal here with only 5 yards to go.
Now in the SFL red zone, presented by APM Music. First and goal from the 5. Pepper in the gun, 2 wide receivers to the left, and 2 tight ends are on either side of the offensive line. Pepper to pass, looks to the end zone, that's hauled in! James Walters, touchdown Vancouver!
And the number 1 passing defense in Sioux Falls has been getting burned through the air today. first drive, they give up a big 59-yard touchdown. This time, it's a completely different drive. They stick with the run game. They change it up with the pass, and through the air, they find the end zone, and Vancouver taking a full score lead here. And Sioux Falls, you know, if you get on your back foot in this game, you're going to start falling behind, and we're seeing exactly that.
Snap spot. Takes his time, Rakowski does, but it's up and good for the extra point. Vancouver take a one-score lead. It's 14-7, and you said it there, Ryan Cadell. I really liked how they used the rushing attack and Robert Redford to just march down the field.
Yeah, exactly. Changing it up with the passing. You have a great back in Redford, and they use him well.
Rakowski is set and ready to get us going once more as it's AJ Levy back to return. Turn started from about the 13-yard line. Tries to juke out the man who just got the touchdown, James Walters, but is eventually wrapped up and brought down to the 30-yard line. And Sioux Falls now looks to answer the touchdown from Vancouver with some points of their own.
Yeah, they got some rough field position on that last drive, and they weren't quite able to get out of that 20-yard zone. And this time they need to do better. You know, you have to answer that touchdown.
Tyree all by himself. This is an all slants pattern on gun straight thrown, tipped, intercepted. Oh no, you cannot drop those passes. And Vancouver takes advantage. Their offense is back on the field.
And Drew Hamilton with his second interception of the game, adding on to those totals. And this Vancouver defense, they are absolute ball hawks. You cannot give them any opportunity. And on the deflection, Drew Hamilton cashes in. And Vancouver here threatening yet again after they just scored a touchdown, and they're nearing field goal range.
Tyree tried to find the starting tight end, Rod Tidwell, and Tidwell just didn't have enough hands to haul that football in. Here comes Vancouver once more. They try a screen pass with Redford. He struggles out of attack. Breaks another one. Breaks four tackles and picks up the first down. Are you kidding me, Robert Redford?
Absolutely nasty piece of work. A running back masterclass here from Robert Redford. Shakes off the big Nick Fargo. That is a hard man to bring off your back. I mean, he has been a pinnacle linebacker of this Sioux Falls team for so long, and you're able to shake him off and then shake off three other guys? Are you kidding me?
What a play from the natural as here come the Legion. Out route for Kendra Hall. That's hauled in for just a short game pickup of 2. Credit the coverage team for the Sioux Falls defense, limiting her to only 2 yards.
In Vancouver, I mean, their offense looks like they came shot out of a cannon. Just like every single week, they go out on the field, and it looks like they're playing backyard football out there.
And that explosive end will take us to the end of the first quarter. Vancouver on top and looking to extend the lead. 14-7, we come back. This is the Simulation Football League on For the Fans Twitch. Welcome back to South Dakota. I'm Tyler Falk. He's Ryan Cadell with Mark Lopez in the stats truck. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday evening for Week 7 SFL action as Redford gets the call again. He's going to escape another tackle before being brought down finally by Axel Raven. Another short pickup here on this set of downs and only 2 yards.
And quietly, it's third down here, and a 3rd and 6 is no easy task. You do have a great offense, but Sioux Falls has a great defense. If they can hold him here, that would be huge for them.
3rd and 6 from the 20. Pepper takes a 7-step drop looking into the end zone. That's caught! Brett Killian, his second touchdown reception of the ball game, and Vancouver take a 20-7 lead.
That looked like the exact same play that got them the first touchdown, only this time he caught it in the end zone. Brett Killian already having himself in the game, and we're barely 1 quarter in. Oh my goodness, Vancouver's offense has just looked so good today.
The air raid show continues for the Vancouver Legion as Rakowski's on to attempt the extra point, which would make it a 14-point ball game. Snap spot. Kick is up, and it is missed. He missed it right, and so it remains a 20-7 ball game.
Well, I think we can see a bit of the answer as to why they opted to punt earlier in a long field goal range and missing it wide right. That is hopefully not going to come back for Vancouver's sake. Hopefully it doesn't come back to haunt them later on in this ball game, but nonetheless, they still get that touchdown. They still get those 6 points on the board, and they capitalize on that huge interception by Hamilton.
Rakowski puts his foot through that one as A.J. Levy starts his return at the 14. Tries to angle it to their side. It'll get stopped up at the 33-yard line. Visit the SFL League website at simulationfl.net for info on how to create a player to join our community, the league, and a comprehensive history of the SFL. It's over 1,500 games, and it's thousands of players who have hit the virtual field. The Simulation Football League, 17 seasons strong. Tyree takes a quick drop, pumps once, and just has to dump it off for Colin Hart on the near side as they'll pick up about 3 yards before being brought down by Kevin Brackett.
Yeah, safe play there from Tyree. He had the pocket collapsing on him. If he doesn't get rid of that ball, that's going to be a sack for him. Luckily able to dump it off to the safety valve and Colin Hart and pick up a couple yards.
Bunch set to the far side of the formation here on second down. Tyree looks to pass and is sacked. Nowhere to go, and he's brought down, and they'll go back to the original line of scrimmage. Great defensive pressure from Vancouver.
Yeah, created by the defensive line, they put a ton of pressure, but last on that play, he didn't have the safety valve. Dean Maddox was all over Colin Hart, and there was nowhere Tyree could go.
That was number 77, Achilles Papatonis, the Greek nightmare, coming up with the sack. Tyree steps up into it, throws a dangerous pass that's almost intercepted for the third time today as Mark Lopez pulling double duty, A in the stats chart and B knocking away Julian Tyree's pass.
Yeah, making a great play on the ball. He's able to just get his hand in there, and then the receiver gets taken down. And very selfless play there by the defender. He could have gone for the ball, but that risks a completion to the receiver. So they let the ball fall to the turf and force the fourth down.
And Holt is on the field once again to punt this one away as Maddox gets his return and is going nothing but backwards. But they'll mark him with forward progress to where he originally hauled in it at the 34.
Yeah, very scary sight there when you catch the ball and there's 7 Sioux Falls defenders right in your face. You have no choice but to run away. And that time he doesn't get too far away before getting brought down.
So on comes Vancouver's offense. Have been electrifying here today. We'll see if it continues here midway through the second quarter. Pepper looking for Kendra Hall, and she'll haul in a good pickup of 9 yards before being brought down.
Yeah, and I saw it in chat earlier, but with this Vancouver offense, you know what they're going to do. You know that they're going to go through the air, they're going to find Brett Killian, they're going to go to Kendra Hall and get this insane passing attack. But how do you stop them? It's so hard to bring them down and actually force those incompletions.
Linebackers show a blitz, and a defensive lineman jumps offside as Redford gets the call, falls for the first down yardage, but no matter what, they're getting a first down after the offsides call by the defensive lineman on the near side.
Bit of a giveaway there for Sioux Falls. Even though he would have got it anyway, they just give him a couple extra yards there. Hopefully it's not too big of an impact for Sioux Falls.
And indeed, they'll just go ahead and take the first down. Either way you can get it, as Redford is currently averaging just under 8 yards a carry on just 4 carries. See what they go with here on a new set of downs. Peppers back to pass from the shotgun. Looks far side into double coverage, but it's hauled in for maybe about 4 yards by James Walters.
Walters with that touchdown reception earlier, now getting called on again. Going through these short patterns, they seem to find these tight ends for those quick gains.
Now cross the 50-yard line. 2nd and 7 for Vancouver. Pepper takes a quick drop, is just going to dump it off of Redford out of the backfield as Redford turns the quarter and is stopped up short of the line to gain. Is slow to get up, but then does rise to his feet. 3rd and short upcoming for the Legion.
Yeah, those simple plays, they really look like they're not going to go for very much. You have 4 Sioux Falls defenders there, but Redford puts his shoulder down and runs through them.
Nitty-gritty. Short yardage situation as Redford gets the call, and that was no problem at all for the Vancouver Legion. The offensive line created a gaping hole for him to scamper through.
Yeah, the offensive line really is stepping up in this game. Michael Percoco and Mike Newtones, both of them have been really rock solid on that line, creating these holes for Redford and giving him a great running lane.
They'll come out with 3 wideouts and a split backfield. Passes for Redford, has all kinds of time near the near sideline, then is finally stopped up by Axel Raven and company after a gain of 8. Raven has been just flying around this football field.
Yeah, he really has been all over the place, playing in pass coverage and that run protect. He's been all over the place trying to bring down these Legion.
9 men in the box here for the Sioux Falls Sparrows to try and stop Robert Redford. They'll hand off to Redford. They get to the backfield and stop him for a huge loss of 4.
And the big James Kelly finds a huge hit on Redford in the backfield. We've seen all these short yardage situations and Redford has run so easily, but this time James Kelly says no.
And just an emphatic no, throwing Redford to the turf. 3rd and 6 now for the Legion. Pepper takes a deep drop, pressure coming. He's sacked! It's a huge loss of 10 on the play, and the Sioux Falls Sparrows get home, and it's back-to-back sacks for James Kelly.
He brings down Robert Redford, and this time he wants some pepper on top. Gets the huge sack in the backfield. They're going to stop the Legion in their tracks, and they've been knocked out of field goal range. That's going to be so huge for Sioux Falls. They're going to get this ball back.
Absolutely. As it's Brian Patrick on to punt this one away. They pinned him back in their own territory once, and this time A.J. Levy is going to take the fair catch at the 11-yard line with 5 minutes and 17 seconds left to go in the first half of action. And now, after a great play by your defense, you have to imagine that Sioux Falls offense has to come out and play with a little bit more intensity.
Yeah, you've got to be feeling fired up. James Kelly with 2 huge hits on the biggest guys of Vancouver. That's got to get him fired up.
Maybe they'll get Colin Hart involved. Only one of his 4 rushing attempts have resulted in positive yardage. That's a nice little dump off over the middle for Julian Tyree, finding his man, that's Gunnar Lewis. And they haven't really gone to the the rushing attack since early on in the first quarter. Only their second drive was the last time that Colin Hart touched the football, Ryan.
Yeah, they had a couple runs, but the defensive line of Vancouver has been too strong.
See if they cook up here on 2nd and 6. No Hart on the field this time. They go all slants over the middle, and that's hauled in this time around by one of the wide receivers. That one goes to Al Dillapre Sr. for his first touch of the ball game.
Yeah, Gunnar Lewis getting his first reception on this drive, and now Dillapre Sr. getting his first reception of this drive. They're finding different receivers. They're changing it up. We've seen a lot of Noe Terrazas on this first half for Sioux Falls. Now they're changing it up with the passing game. Try to throw, a bit of a wrench into Vancouver's plans.
2 backs in the backfield usually means a run for Sioux Falls. Will Colin Hart get his first touch of the quarter on the ground? No, they'll pass it. Hart under pressure. He can't escape the pocket. Gerald Giudice comes up with the sack. That's the second sack of the ball game for Vancouver.
This time the defensive tackle gets the sack. Last time it was Achilles Papatonis, and now Giudice gets in on the action. Now Mike Coverson's the only one without one.
2 of the 3 defensive linemen getting in on the action. All slant pattern again. That's the passing play that seems to be working for the Sparrows, and they'll pick up a bunch of yards. They'll find Gunnar Lewis for his second catch of the ball game, marked him down 2 yards short of the sticks.
Yeah, after a 4-yard loss on that sack, they're able to make up some of that yardage with a big play to Gunnar Lewis and an even bigger hit that he took after catching that ball. Now you have a 3rd and short here. Do they go with the rushing attack of Colin Hart, or do they stick with the air? You got 2 backs in the backfield.
And 1 tight end on the near side of the formation. 3rd and 2 from the 35. They'll pass again. Pressure coming, and Papatonis, the Greek nightmare, is going to be haunting Julian Tyree's dreams tonight. Another sack for the Greek freak.
Dreams, Tyree will call them nightmares. Papatonis and Giudice on one play, they get a sack, they get a completion, then another sack, and Vancouver's defense has been on fire today.
3rd sack of the ball game for the Legion D as Holt punts it away again. Dean Maddox again calls for a fair catch, this time at the 36-yard line, and on come the Legion offense. They were knocked out of field goal range last time out and have the lead up by 13. But now with this first half winding down, Ryan, maybe a chance here to add on a couple more points and solidify that lead.
Yeah, and they're going to get that second half kickoff. We saw the first drive of the game, Sioux Falls gets their touchdown. Vancouver's going to get this second half kickoff. They get points here, and then they get the ball back too if they can get them.
Power rushing formation. Redford, nothing doing. He's stuffed into the backfield. Good tackle from Sioux Falls. That's Derek Williams coming up with a tackle for loss.
Yeah, normally the biggest highlight of Sioux Falls is their passing defense, but this time the rushing defense has been on point today.
Again, they'll stack 8 men in the box for the Sioux Falls defense. Pepper to pass, fires over the middle. That's one way to get Robert Redford involved in the passing game. No, check that. That's going to be backup halfback Myron Jackson Jr. with the reception.
Yeah, you got to throw him off. He's playing in as fullback there. They send Redford out to the flat, which has been, a bread and butter play for Vancouver. They've been running that screen all game, and it's been doing a lot of damage, but this time they find the fullback.
And that'll bring us to the 2-minute warning here in the first half of play. Vancouver with the ball and a commanding 13-point lead. When we come back, 2 minutes to go in the first half. You're watching the SFL on FDF Twitch. Coming out of the break, Pepper goes under center, single back ace formation. He takes a quick 2-step drop, and he throws it right to the defender. And that's as easy as you would like for Jay Ringgold.
Yeah, and right across the middle, he just takes it. It was like it was put in his pocket. It was Terrell Davis, actually, on that interception, just playing perfect coverage on Kendra Hall, not letting her get that extra step on you, and that is exactly what he needed, getting in front of her, and there was no room for Pepper to fit that ball, and it's an interception and a momentum shift for Sioux Falls.
Something we haven't been able to see is a 5 wideouts for Sioux Falls. If you look at this team from about 2 years ago, you would never see this formation. As it's a pass over the middle, that's hauled in by Al Delapre Sr. close to the sticks. Mark him down just short of the line to gain.
Yeah, this has been historically a run-first team with Colin Hart, and back when they had Jalen Wells, it was one of the best rushing duos we'd ever seen. But now, without Jalen Wells, they opt to go more for the passing attack.
Hart gets his first carry of the second quarter here with only under 2 minutes to go in the quarter, as he'll pick up the first down yards, only his second carry, which has resulted in positive yards.
Yeah, and he fought for every single yard that he could get. 2 men right in front of him, and he was plowing through them.
He's back in the backfield along with Charlemagne Cornelius, the fullback, as Tyree looks over the middle, and that's a nice little pass into a very tight window, hauled in. First down for the Sparrows. They hustle back to the line. 52 seconds remaining in the quarter. Tyree looking, intercepted for the third time today. Dean Maddox this time comes up with the pick.
I was trying to find Gunnar Lewis, but it was a dangerous throw. He was in double coverage, and that is exactly what happens when you overthrow. They tried to lead him a little bit, but it was right into coverage, and just a bit of an errant throw there for Tyree. Vancouver gonna get the ball back after they gave up an interception. They get one of their own.
And a big sigh of relief coming from the Vancouver sidelines as Pepper's going to be back to pass. Is going to look to the far side. That's hauled in for maybe about 3 yards. And there is no hustle in the offense at the moment. It looks like they're just trying to keep possession of the football and run out the rest of this clock.
Yeah, and you said it, a sigh of relief for Vancouver is exactly what happened. Sioux Falls getting that ball back, looking like they were going to score before the end of the half, but an interception turns that all around.
Corners back off on the outsides as Pepper's in the gun with Redford alongside of him. Throws to Kendra Hall. Kendra Hall picks up the first down before him being knocked out of bounds. First down from the 18.
Yeah, getting the reception, and looks like they are opting to run out the clock a little bit without actually running it. You know, using Tom Pepper, finding his receivers. And I kind of like that call. If you know, there's no interception, ideally they could get the ball and run for anything, run for a big play after that. You never know what happens when you get the ball in your hands.
Myron Jackson, the backup halfback, falls in for the injured fullback as a screenplay for Redford on the far side. He's got room to rumble as he's taken down after picking up the first down, but there goes the clock winding. 1-0, and that will take us to the end of the half, 20-7. And the air raid show from Vancouver has indeed showed up here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. What a game so far for Tom Pepper and company.
Yeah, Tom Pepper and Brett Killian, the dynamic duo, have been getting it done through the air. 2 touchdowns for Killian on only 4 receptions. One of those was the huge 59-yard touchdown we saw on their first drive of the game after 2 plays. They really showed off the power of the offense, and they haven't stopped from there. They drove down the field. Their defense had some great stops on Sioux Falls throughout this first half, and Sioux Falls really hasn't been able to get anything going. They had some interceptions, Drew Hamilton getting 2 interceptions and Maddox getting his own interception near the end of that second half. So the defense for Vancouver has really come to play today, and their offense has been on fire as per usual. Tom Pepper having an amazing game. Robert Redford has been an amazing compliment to him as well, getting some decent runs, the big 25-yard run on your screen now, and he's been getting it done through the passing game as well. 9.3 yards per reception for Robert Redford today. He's been a menace in the passing game, just like Vancouver's been a menace throughout this entire game in the passing game. And for Sioux Falls, really they need to get back on their feet. Tyree needs to stop throwing interceptions. They need to go back to what has made this team, you know, one of the best running teams in the league in the past few years. You know, these last 2 seasons we haven't seen it, but we saw them as they were coming up, the running attack, and they haven't been able to get back to that.
Yeah, and one thing to know, especially on one of those interceptions thrown by Tyree, was off the back of the tight end, and that's just one thing that hasn't gone the way for Sioux Falls. Is they are second worst in terms of receptions to targets in that percentage, only hauling in 67% of the time a pass is thrown to a wide receiver. That's just under 10% lower than the league average. So that's maybe something they need to look at as we go out of the locker rooms and onto the field, back out for the second half. I'm Tyler Falk alongside Ryan Caudill up here in the booth. Mark Lopez is in the stats truck. Thank you, sir, for doing everything you do for us and making us sound smarter than you actually are. And our producer is the SFL commissioner and producer extraordinaire, Cameron Irvine, as we are just about set to begin the second half of play. Rofontaine boots it to... It's a fumble, and here comes Sioux Falls! It's a special teams touchdown for the Sioux Falls Sparrows. Taking it in is J.J. McKee, the backup tight end.
And everybody thought Vancouver was getting the second half kickoff. No, that's Sioux Falls' ball. They force a huge fumble on a kickoff. You never see that, and then there's no one for Vancouver in front. Everyone's up blocking. And number 80 for Sioux Falls is in the perfect spot at the perfect time. The pick up and run, the scoop and score. And Vancouver is on the backfield foot as Sioux Falls gets on the board for the first time since the first drive of the game.
It's a tight end double whammy. The fumble was caused by the backup tight end Miles Portis, and J.J. McGee returns it for a Sioux Falls touchdown as Sammy Profontaine is on to kick the extra point. Snap spot, kick is up, and it is good. 20-14, only a 6-point margin between the two sides, and Profontaine will go back to kick it away for the second time in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, 7 seconds have passed, but it feels like a lifetime. In the excitement category, now Vancouver getting a second shot. Don't drop this one.
If you're playing Vancouver at Sioux Falls Bingo, like we mentioned in the SFL General Chat, there's already a couple marks on that bingo card as Maddox, the new return man this week, gets his second chance in about 10 seconds to try and return one, and it's safe hands this time from Dean Maddox, and they'll shut up shop at the 32-yard line.
Man, this game just gets better and better. I thought Vancouver coming into this half, they were going to get that first half kickoff. They were going to, have a chance. But now Sioux Falls, they've cut this lead down to just one score.
It's a ball game once again as the Vancouver offense comes out of the field. Two-step drop. Pepper tries to get it away and does manage to get a pass off as he was brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete pass, though. To me, that looked almost like an intentional grounding.
Yeah, it could have been. He just throws it out just to not take the sack there. And luckily, there's no call for Vancouver. It just results in the incompletion, and they don't lose any more yardage.
Two wideouts on the field here on second down as Pepper finds his man to the outside. That's hauled in for a good pickup of about 7 yards. That's Dan Daly, the tight end, with the reception.
And Daly's been a good compliment here in this passing game. It's been Brett Killian has been getting those touchdowns, but getting those big plays, but Dan Daly has been the reliable one, getting those short plays, getting the 7-yard completions.
Power football on display now as the Sioux Falls defense reads it perfectly. They try to stop Pepper in the backfield. How does Pepper escape that? How does Redford escape that? Incredible play from the Vancouver offense, and Redford crosses the midfield stripe and picks up the first down.
He started running backwards. I thought he was going to go the wrong way. This looked like a busted run from the very beginning. There were 8 Sparrows in the backfield, but Redford somehow spins them all off, shrugs them off, gets the first down. What an amazing play.
He had to go back about 10 yards before going forward. My goodness, what can stop this Vancouver Legion offense? Pepper back to pass, finds Redford on the far side. He tries to get out of the tackle. This time is wrapped up after a gain of 3 yards. And he's slow to get up. I was going to say, Redford looked very sluggish to get up there.
He's just faking us out a little bit like he tried to fake out Axel Raven there, but he knows that spin move. He saw it just to play a go. He's not fooled by it and brings him down hard.
3 wideouts, weak eye behind Tom Pepper here on second down. They'll hand off for Redford. He tries to spin toward the middle and is taken down after a short gain by Nick Fargo.
He must have lathered himself up in grease or butter or something before this game on that big run, and now it seems like they rubbed it all off. Now he can't get those spin cycles to work.
Oh, just you wait till he goes back to the huddle. You just never know with Mr. Robert Redford. Pepper back to pass on third down. Deep drop, looking to the end zone. That's one-handed caught by Kendra Hall. Incredible! Touchdown, Legion!
What a throw! Oh my goodness! Tom Pepper with an absolute cannon to Kendrick Hall, and no one can defend that. You could be 7 feet tall and you wouldn't be able to defend that. AJ Levy gets up a foot in the air, puts his hands up, and it barely goes over the finger, and Kendra Hall with the miraculous one-handed catch in the end zone. I mean, if the number one pass defense in the league cannot stop this Vancouver offense, I don't know what will.
This team is so much fun to watch. 6 plays, 68 yards after a 41-yard pitch and catch to Kendra Hall, who makes a spectacular one-handed touchdown grab as Rakowski gets a little bit of redemption and tacks home an extra point after the one he missed earlier. 27-14 your score with 8:40 left to go in the third.
This has been such an amazing game, Tyler. I mean, Vancouver really comes to play.
And here we go again as Rakowski boots it downfield to AJ Levy, who tries to get away from the tackles and is tackled finally at the 29-yard line. Visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for links to apparel from Sector 6, the official apparel provider of the Simulation Football League, and SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotions. Sector 6 features replica team jerseys and completely customized jackets, flags, t-shirts, and more. Get the gear the fans wear with Sector 6, 97 Sports Promotions, and the SFL. They'll run with Hart here on the first play of the drive as Hart goes almost nowhere. They'll credit him with maybe a yard on the carry.
It's tough to say for Sioux Falls really what they should do. I thought going into this they should go maybe with the run game, but Colin Hart, he really is getting stuffed at the line. Vancouver's defensive line has really just read him like a book.
Only 13 yards on 5 carries. Here he goes again. This time a much better run. Getting close to the sticks. He'll pick up about 6 at the Sioux Falls 36.
Yeah, fantastic blocking there by the fullback, Charlemagne Cornelius. Colin Hart is able to just ride and put his hand on his back and just say, go. And he follows him through all the way, gets 7 yards.
Offset eye here on third down. 3 wideouts in the formation. They'll delay handoff to Hart. He sneaks through the defensive line and he'll pick up the first down.
Yeah, Mark Lopez getting the tackle there and saving a potentially huge play there for Colin Hart. He was trying to split between the defenders. Mark Lopez barely got him around the knees, but that could have been a touchdown-saving tackle.
Yeah, and Mark Lopez pulling double duty for us, not just on the field, but in the stats truck. Thank you, sir, for all you do for us. It's a new set of downs here for the Sparrows from their own 42. They'll hand off again for Colin Hart. Has blockers, but is wrapped up by his kneecaps after a pickup of 3. That's Kyler Murley with the stop.
And really good tackling here from this defense of Vancouver. They're able to just hit Colin Hart in the legs and bring him down. He's such a hard back to bring down. He's one of those guys that's so good at the finesse, so good at just mowing you over. And Vancouver is holding him up nicely.
All right, they'll elect to pass out of it. Down for Colin Hart, who spins out of 1 and spins out of 2, but is eventually wrapped up 2 yards short of the sticks by Mike Coverson and company.
And we'll see if Sioux Falls elects to go back to Colin Hart again. 2 plays in a row. They go with that dump out pattern, trying to, get some big screenplay on the outside. And Vancouver more or less has been ready for it.
Colin Hart has been featured exclusively on this drive. All 5 plays have gone his way. We'll see if they go to him for a 6th straight time. Indeed, they will with a run near side. Has blockers in front of him, and it is rumbling down to the Vancouver 40. And this is vintage Sioux Falls Sparrows.
Yeah, this is exactly what you would have expected to see if you played them in Season 15. Season 14, the big running attack, the huge offensive line blocking with the fullback combo. And it really is looking like vintage Sioux Falls here with that run game getting going, especially on this drive. Just feed Colin Hart.
Well, on this next play, it's going to break the streak of appearances for Colin Hart. He's going to go and head to the sidelines, maybe take a little bit of a breather. Empty backfield, 4 wideouts, pass over the middle, into cover, just picked off as they elect to go with the pass, and Major Key takes the ball away for Julian Tyree's 4th interception on the day.
Now the 5th interception total today, and the 4th for Vancouver. And it is just not looking good for Sioux Falls. Tyree, they had a good drive going, and the second they elect to stray away from the Colin Hart machine, it ends up in disaster as another turnover for Sioux Falls in a spot where they needed to get some points on the board.
And that's another mark on that Vancouver at Sioux Falls bingo card, as now we had 4 total marks on the card itself. Pepper back to pass on the first down play. He'll find his tight end on the far side for a nice early first down. That's to Dan Daly, the tight end.
And a solid piece of work from Dan Daly. Throw it to the tight end. He's always going to get it done on the outside. And he was just wide open there. A bit of a mismatch when you have a speedy tight end like Dan Daly, a big man who really plays like a wide receiver, and you have him matched up with the linebacker. That is somewhere the quarterback's always going to go.
8 men in the box for Sioux Falls with the handoff to Redford. He sneaks by the defenders and spins out of a few tackles. A huge pickup of about 12 yards down to the Sioux Falls 41.
And the Vancouver machine keeps on chugging down the field, getting first down after first down. They are making it look easy. And this is no slouch of a defense either. This is not some defense that is bottom of the pack. They are number 1 in the passing offense, number 3 in yards allowed, number 1 in pass touchdowns allowed. They are a good defense, but Vancouver is just so good on offense.
They'll try and stack the box again, as Pepper elects to throw this time. Pressure coming from the outside, and it's deflected away by Axel Raven. And there's that good pass defense we've been talking about all day for Sioux Falls.
Exactly. You cannot sleep on this Sioux Falls defense, especially not Axel Raven. Man has been all over the field today, making a play anywhere that he can, has been excellent in coverage, and been great at stopping Robert Redford in the run. Raven is having a day today.
And to top it all off, the Raven was flying to knock that football away on first down. 2nd and 10 from the 41. Pepper takes a quick drop and is going to loft it to the far side. That's tipped up in the air and incomplete. A dangerous ball from Tom Pepper, and it's 3rd down.
Yeah, great play there from Terrell Davis, getting up and knocking that ball away, nearly knocking it into one of his fellow defenders' hands. And they nearly get an interception on the tip drill, but fortunately for Vancouver, it just falls harmlessly to the turf.
Crucial spot for the Sioux Falls defense. They need to get their offense back on the field, and they need to stop this Vancouver defense here and now before they go any further. Pepper, 7-step drop, pressure coming. He's got nowhere to go. It's another huge sack. James Kelly, his 2nd sack of the ball game.
And he has been a monster in that backfield. We saw coming out of the end of the first half, he had the 2 big stops, the big sack, the big tackle for loss. Now getting another huge sack there on Tom Pepper on the 3rd down. They needed to convert. They were looking at like they were going to get into field goal range, but yet again, they have to settle for the punt.
And Patrick boots it away to A.J. Levy, and he's unable to make something happen. He's taken down right there at the 20-yard line. So we'll start off where they would have been if it would have been a touchback, as on comes the Sioux Falls offense. Tyree needs to take better control of the football, has 4 interceptions today, Ryan.
Yeah, we need the Tyree that we saw on the first drive of the game. 5 for 5, perfect passing, getting the touchdown through the air as well, but since then it's been downhill. He needs to wipe the slate clean and come back with a fresh mind.
Single back A set on the field to start off the drive here for the Sparrows. They'll hand off to Hart on the far side. He escapes 1, wriggles his way out of 2, and is finally brought down at the 28-yard line.
And showing why he is such a tough back to bring down. You get one guy on him, that's not enough. You get a second, that's not enough. He'll keep the feet moving and turn what would have been a gain of 3 into a gain of 8.
Now it's second and manageable. Here for the Sparrows. It'll be a fullback dive for Charlemagne Cornelius on one of his first touches of the ball game, and he'll fall forward for a pickup of 4 and a Sioux Falls first down.
Yeah, and that's part of what made the old Sioux Falls so dangerous. When they had Jalen Wells, he was, a top 15 rusher on a team with Colin Hart. And they go to Cornelius through the middle, and they change it up and get the first down.
Everybody's packed in tight here on this new set of downs. It's a QB sneak up the middle for Julian Tyree. And it's vintage Sioux Falls. We used to see that play time and time again through the years with Sioux Falls.
It's a cheeky little play. Not many teams would opt to go for it, but that's a clean 5 yards. That's a productive first down. You would want that from your halfback, and you can get it from your quarterback the same way.
You got to credit the offensive line, including Nathan Fury and Dusty Wilson, for making that type of play happen. But going backwards is Colin Hart, as it's the Fawns, Josh Farnsey, with the tackle behind the line.
Yeah, big stop behind the line. Farnsey, Kevin Brackett also got involved, stopping the run there in the backfield. They slept on the QB sneak, but they were wide awake for that play.
Josh was telling himself in chat to make a play. He did right there. He forced a third down as Tyree tries to get a pass off, and he's unable to. Oh, there's that man again. There's the Greek Nightmare. Papatonis in with the attempted tackle, but it forces a fourth down.
Yeah, getting a huge stop. Tyree was about to unload and throw a bomb, but he gets hit right before he lets the ball go, and he just spikes it. They force the incompletion, and the pressure forces the punt.
Max Holt, he's been busy today. He's going to punt this one away, and it'll be a fair catch called for by Dean Maddox as he hauls it in with safe hands at his own 31-yard line. Coverage of the Simulation Football League 17th season on Next Level Sports continues next Saturday, September 11th at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, honoring the military service and sacrifice. Louisiana hosts defending champ Denver, followed by Lone Star hosting Los Angeles. Bonus coverage includes Arizona and Vancouver and DC and Portland. It all comes your way next Saturday on Next Level Sports. Pepper back to pass from the gun here on this first down. He'll find his man near side. That's the backup halfback, Myron Jackson Jr. coming in to play for Brickwall, the fullback who was injured in the first half of play. Picks up a good chunk of yards for 6.
Yeah, they've been going with Redford, and they saw what Sioux Falls did, giving it to Cornelius. They give it to the fullback, and he gets the job done.
Offset eye behind Pepper. They'll run with Redford to the near side. He angles back inside and will pick up the first down. Good little run and a nice hole created by that offensive line led by Michael Percoco and Mike Newtones.
Yeah, he knew exactly how many yards he needed to gain, and he saw the gap that the defense gave him, reads it perfectly, finds the first down.
New set of downs from their own 41. Here come the Legion. 3 wideouts and an offset eye behind Pepper. They run with Redford. Tries to make a man miss there on the outside. He's only able to get 1 yard before being brought down by A.J. Levy.
Now brought down, looked like he got absolutely bulldozed there. Levy puts him to the turf in a second.
Bunch set near side as they'll play bump coverage on the outside. The Sioux Falls defenders do. Pepper looking near side, has Kendra Hall. She'll haul it in for first down yardage on across the midfield stripe to the Sioux Falls 41.
And it is so hard to stop this Vancouver offense. You have the threat of Kendra Hall in the air having a great game so far, and then Brett Killian on the other side of the field has been having an amazing game as well. Both of them about 80 yards and a touchdown. Killian has 2, but it's just so hard to stop this Vancouver offense when you have the duo of receivers there. You have Robert Redford as a weapon in the backfield and the tight end Dan Daly.
That takes us to the fourth quarter. Get your fours up and chat. The Legion lead 27-14. You're watching the SFL on For the Fans Twitch Network. Fourth quarter of action here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I'm Tyler Falk. Ryan Kettle has been up here with me in the booth. Mark Lopez is our man on stats, and the commissioner Cameron Irvine has been our producer. First play of the fourth quarter will be a handoff for Robert Redford. He'll pick up 4 yards on the first play of the quarter.
Yeah, Redford doing what he does best, just getting solid yardage on the ground today, averaging just under 6 yards per carry. He's been absolutely unstoppable today.
And Pepper's been electrifying through the air, just under 300 yards, as that pass is just a little bit too far out of the reach of Brett Killian. He's got a couple touchdown catches today.
He wasn't ready for the heat coming from the Pepper. That throw was way too hard for Killian. He tried to dive and salvage it, but he couldn't quite haul it in.
Would you say maybe that was too spicy for the Pepper?
Exactly.
Third down now here for Vancouver at the Sioux Falls 38. Need to get past the 31 to convert. Oh, over the middle. That's hauled in by Chris Curtis. The first time we've called his name today. And the Vancouver Legion have converted 6 of 10 times on third down today.
And this offense is just so good. I mean, especially on that third down, it seems like they're able to find their receivers every single time.
Split back formation for Tom Pepper as he's going to look toward the near side, who finds Kendra Hall, pick up a 6, and she'll tap her toes outside after going out of bounds.
And this is kind of what we've seen all game from Vancouver. They go for these deep plays, these big, long touchdown plays, but a lot of this bread and butter, a lot of them driving up the field is these really quick receptions, these quick, 6-yard gains to these receivers, and it moves them up the field so quickly.
They'll go with Robert Redford here on second and short. He's taken down behind the line. It's a good tackle from Derek Williams, who got into the backfield quickly.
Yeah, he got on Redford and stayed on his back, would not let him move, and brings him down behind the line of scrimmage. Great play by the linebacker.
Another big third down upcoming for the Sioux Falls defense. Can they stop him this time? Swing pass, Robert Redford. They won't. As Redford gets enough yardage to the first down, they move into the red zone, down to the Sioux Falls 15.
AJ Levy with another big hit, but not before Redford secures that first down. And again, going through the passing game, he'll dump it off to Redford, or he'll find his receivers for these short gains, and that is getting them these first downs, and they're moving down the field so efficiently.
Linebackers shift to the near side of the formation. 8 men in the box as Pepper looks to pass. Looks for the swing pass for Robert Redford on the far side. Only minimal yardage gain before he's eventually stopped up after a gain of 2.
And Sioux Falls, it is just so hard to game plan against Vancouver. When you have all these threats, you have Redford there going with the swing pass. They're able to, snuff that out. But what will happen this time?
Power eye here for the Vancouver Legion here on second down. They'll do another screen pass, this time to the near side. Robert Redford going nowhere. Great defense from the Sioux Falls Sparrows as it's Nick Fargo with the big tackle behind the line.
Yeah, his first tackle for loss today, and Sioux Falls becoming wiser and wiser to this pass game, to the Redford heavy attack of Vancouver.
Just need points, the Vancouver Legion. Nothing to force anything here. A field goal would put you up by 16. Back to pass toward the end zone. It's picked up in the end zone. That's an ill-advised pass. And John Barnhart comes up with the pick.
Yeah, you called it out right before the play. You don't need to do anything too crazy. You just need the field goal. You need to be short like you've been this whole drive. They've been going for the quick plays, the quick reception to the receivers. This time they go for the big play to the end zone, and it's picked off. A huge mistake by Tom Pepper.
And now Sioux Falls have a little bit of life. 7:45 left to go in regulation as Hart gets the carry. He's driven backward, but will pick up forward progress for a gain of 1 to the 21.
He is lucky that they counted forward progress. Looked like he got that yard, got hit, and then tripped backwards, but was still able to stay on his feet. Luckily for him, it was not on his own volition, and it just ends up being a 1-yard gain instead of a 10-yard loss.
They'll flex the tight end off to the left. Offset eye behind Julian Tyree. They'll run with Hart to the far side as Hart again is brought backward. And this time he's only going to get forward progress 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Drew Hamilton with a big tackle for loss.
And an amazing game so far from Drew Hamilton. Those 6 tackles along with 2 interceptions to his name. He is going off on defense today.
Coverage backs off, probably just trying to play everything deep and stop him short of the sticks. Tyree takes a quick drop, looking over the middle, and it's into coverage, and it falls incomplete, looking for Noe Terrazas, and it's a quick 3 and out for the Sparrows.
And it looked like it was Drew Hamilton yet again there in coverage, nearly getting a pick, nearly getting a deflection there, but Tyree overthrows his man anyway. They don't find the completion, they don't find the first down, and yet again Sioux Falls is forced to punt.
This will be Max Holt's 5th punt of the ball game. And Dean Maddox near the 50-yard line is going to call for the fair catch and will haul in at his own 49. The SFL is sponsored by APM Music. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. Pepper to pass on first down and going up the ladder. It's a huge reception by the tight end. Dan Daly with a huge catch.
And who knew a tight end could get up there like that? He's 6'5", but he gets a foot up in the air in an amazing catch. Looked like he just mossed AJ Levy.
My goodness.
Oh.
You said it earlier here, Ryan. What can stop the Vancouver Legion offense? Well, if it's anything to go on last drive, it's just errant passes by Tom Pepper. 1st and 10 from the Sioux Falls 32 will be a run for Redford. He wriggles out of one tackle and then is finally brought down after picking up about 2 yards by Axel Raven.
And it's interesting. Sioux Falls has been historically this season, they've been very good against the passing attack. #1 passing defense, like I said earlier, and not very good against the rush. But today, it seemed to be exactly the opposite. Robert Redford, not a great game on the air, but on the ground, but Tom Pepper having an amazing game through the air.
They'll take a deep drop, looking to throw. Pressure coming, and he's taken down for the 3rd time today. Oh my goodness. Going into today here, Ryan, he was only sacked 12 times. Today alone's been sacked 3 times.
And all 3 of them coming from the big James Kelly. Looks like he has a vendetta against Tom Pepper, how much he's been getting in that backfield, getting pressure on him and bringing him down. They must have a little rivalry we don't know about.
He doesn't want Vancouver to snap the 3-game winning streak that Sioux Falls has over Vancouver. Now it's 3rd and a country mile for Sioux Falls, or for Vancouver at the 36 of Sioux Falls. Pepper under pressure again, is sacked for the 2nd straight play. This defense is not ready to give up just yet.
This time, Nick Fargo gets involved. The linebacker blitz. They get to Tom Pepper. They bring him down yet again. And maybe that's how you beat this Vancouver offense. You need to get some pressure on Tom Pepper, force these big sacks where they can't make up that yardage.
Patrick to punt it away, stands near his own 40-yard line. This one's going to be hauled in by AJ Levy, who elects to start the return and is immediately mobbed at the 16-yard line as Sioux Falls will start their drive from there. Coverage of the Simulation Football League 17th season on For the Fans continues tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Eastern with a South Division tilt between Mexico City and Houston, followed by Pickler welcoming his old team to Louisiana to his new home in London. Bonus coverage includes Florida, St. Louis, and Denver, Baltimore. It all comes your way next Sunday on For the Fans. Tyree's going to pass here on first down, finds his man near the near sideline, and that's going to be hauled in for about 5 yards by Gunnar Lewis.
And Sioux Falls, they've got a while to go here. You need to get a big touchdown on this drive. This is the drive where you can get back into this game. There's only 4 minutes left, but that is plenty of time when you have the 3 timeouts. If you can stop this Vancouver offense.
Tyree's going back to pass again. This one deflected. Fantastic coverage by Kyler Murray. That's the similar play we saw in the first half where Kyler had back-to-back deflections.
Exactly. They went to Noe Terrazas again on that throw, getting covered by Kyler Murray, and Murray has been on him like a book, like white on rice. He is not giving up these completions, and that is his 3rd pass defended.
Now the Sparrows trot out 5 wideouts, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Tyree alone in the gun. They send the blitz, and it's tipped and picked for the 5th time today. Dean Maddox picks up his 2nd on the day.
Yeah, Kyler Murray gets the deflection again, and this time it falls into the hands of Dean Maddox in Vancouver. The Vancouver Ballhawks, we should call them, as they get their 5th interception on the day. And as a defense, they have been lights out in the turnover game. They're only 7th in the league with 16 takeaways, but now that's been bumped up to 21 on this game. They have been dominant in the interception category.
Now the Legion are set up in prime real estate at the Sioux Falls 25. Redford tries to spin away from a tackle at the line of scrimmage, but is taken down by John Barnhart.
And Sioux Falls defense, yet again, all over Robert Redford here in this game. They've been able to stop him at the line of scrimmage. He had some big plays, but really, it hasn't been a lot of plays going for very much, just a couple yards here and there. It's been the passing attack that's really been hurting them.
A very similar sight is the Sioux Falls defense stacking the box. 8 men in the box to counter this heavy look for Vancouver. Redford gets the call, spins away, has a few blockers, has the corner, and is going to be taken down inside the 5, down to the 3.
And what an amazing block there. The fullback brick wall, letting his presence be known, picking up this huge block on the outside. It was a corner blitz. They were trying to get Redford in the backfield, but the fullback picks up the block and makes an amazing run happen as Redford nearly breaks that one for a touchdown.
And now with the drive that started on the 25 of Sioux Falls, they're knocking on the door line, the door of the goal line. Power football here for the Vancouver offense. Only 7 in the box for Sioux Falls. Redford on the call, and he's leveled at the 2-yard line, knocked back to the 3.
And AJ Levy, I mean, he has had his number this game, laying big hit after big hit on Robert Redford. He's going to have a couple bruises in the morning, courtesy of 42.
And Redford, he was trying to get to 100 yards on the day, just a yard shy. But AJ Levy is just trying to hold this offense as Sioux Falls' chances dwindle even closer to non-existent. Offset single back here for the Legion. And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning as they elect to drain as much clock as possible. The Legion lead 27-14 are on the doorstep of the end zone. You're watching the SFL on FTF Twitch. Second and goal for the Legion. I'm Tyler Falk. He's Ryan Caudill. Thanks for joining us here on this Saturday evening for Week 7 of the SFL. Delayed handoff for Redford to the far side. He tries to get to the corner, shrugs off one tackle, but is tackled at the line of scrimmage. It was a well-executed play from the Sioux Falls defense to stop him right there at the line of scrimmage, and that is James Kelly with another big tackle.
Kelly coming up in these big clutch moments, getting the stops when he need to, and it looked like the makings of a good run. Robert Redford had some great patience, but was not quite able to find that seam.
3rd and goal. 9 men in the box now for Sioux Falls as Vancouver elects to pass. Pepper finds Redford a wide open lane for the natural to saunter in, and that right there is your dagger in the hearts of the Sioux Falls fans as Vancouver tack on 6.
It was only a matter of time before Redford found the end zone today, getting his first touchdown, and Tom Pepper picking up his 5th touchdown of the game. Vancouver's offense has been so explosive today, and there has been nothing that Sioux Falls can do to stop them.
Short 5-play, 25-yard drive for the Legion, and an extra point here will put them up by 20 points. Snap spot, Rakowski's kick is up and good, and the Legion have silenced this Sioux Falls crowd. It's 34-14.
You could hear a pin drop in this stadium with how silent Sioux Falls has gone. And this second half, really, it feels like it's been explosive, but that has only been the 3rd score of this half, with one of them being the fumble recovery on the kickoff we saw earlier. So really, Vancouver has just been controlling this second half.
Huge shout out to Mark Lopez in the stats truck, keeping us up to date and on our toes as usual, as Levy's return will get up to the 31-yard line. And with down by 3 scores here, Ryan, it's not impossible, but I think at this point, if you're the Sparrows, you're just playing for pride.
Yeah, it's really tough at this point to see a path to victory for Sioux Falls. They would need another special teams heroic, maybe a couple to go their favor yet again, but it's looking grim.
I've only seen them call all slants out of this package, a pretty short passing play, and indeed they'll run the all slants play. This one caught by the tight end for a good gain of about 9.5. That's Rod Tidwell, and they'll hustle back to the line with under 1:40 left to go. Tyree has yet to snap the football, as he finally does with 1:26 left to go. All slants pattern again, finds another target. This one good for the first down and across the 50 into Vancouver territory. 1:16 left to go. This time a quicker snap from Tyree, looking for the same man this time. It's going to be off the back of a defender and incomplete.
Yeah, 3 times in a row they run that slant package. And, I mean, the receivers have perfect footwork. They look like they could be synchronized swimmers out there with how well they're running that slant pattern, but not finding the completion there. Now Sioux Falls is going to have to opt for a different formation here. This time they go with 3 on the right side instead of the close side.
And they'll have Colin Hart sidecar right of Tyree in the backfield. Get over the middle. It's a nice one-handed grab over the middle. Picks up about 9 yards, and they'll hustle back to the line. Just under a minute now left to go in the ball game. Tyree looking over the middle again. That's hauled in. First down yardage down to the Vancouver 32. Tyree back to pass, pumps once, now goes to the outright on the far side, turning the corner, down to the 10, down to the 5, down to the 3-yard line go the Sparrows, and it's 1st and goal from the 3. Credit K. Marion with the nice reception.
And K. Marion has had the unfortunate position of being covered by Kyler Murray all game long, or else we would see more of the speed that they just displayed on that run there, getting to that outside and turning on the afterburners and nearly getting all the way to the end zone with the speed of Marion.
They're going to say she stepped out of bounds. That's a free timeout there for the Sparrows with 46 left to go on in the game. Tyree looks to throw, looks into the end zone. That's deflected and incomplete. Great coverage there from the backup corner, Terry Crow, excuse me.
A good play there by the corner, getting the deflection nearly. If the receiver maybe didn't fall out of bounds, could have been a caught for a touchdown if they were in the right spot. But now you're here, 2nd and goal. Do they go with the running attack of Colin Hart that worked pretty decently for him? It's a pretty heavy package.
Goal line package here on defense for the Legion to try and stop Hart from getting into the end zone. They'll run up the gut, and he stopped just short, 1 yard short of the line to gain, which will be the end zone. 3rd and short, they run up the middle again, and he stopped again, a yard short. And Sioux Falls burns a timeout with 23 seconds left to go, and they're on the 1 yard line of Vancouver.
23 seconds and inches to go to the goal line there. It looked like Colin Hart could have gotten there, but he was stopped just short. And they're inside. They're at the 1 yard line here. Will they go back to the run, or will they go through the air? Tyree throwing a lot of interceptions. Stick with the run game, in my opinion.
I don't like the package on defense for the Legion. They back off on coverage. They're playing about 5 yards deep in their own end zone. They'll pass it. Tyree looking deep, and he's going to overthrow the wide receiver. Incomplete to the tight end, Rod Tidwell. And the Legion should just be able to run out the clock, providing they don't go backwards in their own end zone.
Yeah, the kneel could be a safety here for Sioux Falls, which would be an interesting development in this game if there hasn't been enough going on as it is. But I do think they'll elect to just run this clock out. And that throw was just a little bit too deep. Tyree had him wide open, but just took a little bit too much on the ball. And they aren't able to find that last touchdown, and they just turn over the ball.
In comes backup quarterback Mark Salt and company to try and get them out of their own end zone and salt away the rest of this game. Handoff. That's going to be the backup halfback, Myron Jackson, who's done a whole lot of work today. He gets the call, picks up a couple yards, and Sioux Falls is forced to use their 3rd and final timeout with 15 seconds to go, and that might just be enough yardage for Mark Salt to kneel it down and take us to the end of the football game.
That should be enough. They should be able to just kneel the ball down right here. They may opt to run it yet again just for the sure thing.
They'll hand up again. Myron Jackson near side. He gets around the blockers, has some space, and he's down to the Vancouver 21-yard line, and that will do it. Vancouver take their first win in 4 matchups versus Sioux Falls, 34-14, and it's the new school of offense that prevailed over the old school, Ryan.
Yeah, the air raid offense showing why it is so powerful here in the SFL. Honestly, a little bit of a down game for them. They don't have, the 400 yards that we're used to seeing through the air, and that is made up in the rushing category. Robert Redford going over 100 yards today. He was just fed the ball so much in that second half, and there was nothing Sioux Falls could do. They couldn't get the ball back. They couldn't stop the run game. They couldn't stop the high-octane Vancouver offense, and really, this could be dooming for the rest of the league. It's going to be so hard to take down this Vancouver team as we get into the second half of the season. We get into this playoff hunt, and you have the number 1 pass defense just played against the number 1 pass offense, and the pass offense prevailed in a huge way today. And that can only spell doom for the other defenses of the SFL. How are they going to be forced to answer the high power of Vancouver? They have Brett Killian, they have Kendra Hall. Chris Curtis is an amazing wide receiver, but we didn't get to call his name at all today, only 1 reception. And so when you leave a weapon out of the picture, that's 3 weapons. You have Dan Daly, you have Robert Redford, you have an amazing quarterback in Tom Pepper. The big question is, who is going to stop this Vancouver offense? We get into the playoff picture. They have now taken this spot. They are number 1 in their division right now, and Vancouver is in a really good spot here to take this division lead and take it all the way to the playoffs.
Vancouver will move to 5-2 with a victory here today. They'll return home to face Arizona after Arizona knocked off Los Angeles earlier today. And for Sioux Falls, their playoff dreams are pretty much non-existent at this point. They move to 1-6, and they will take on Charleston on the road as they're having trouble with San Diego in the other game going on the block, as Tom Pepper is your player of the game. 33 of 40 for 337 yards, 5 total touchdowns, and a very nice QBR of 120.5. Well, from all of us here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, thanks for joining us. Thanks to Mark Lopez in StatStruck, Ryan Cadell alongside me here in the booth, and a special thanks to SFL Commissioner Cameron Irvine for producing. I've been Tyler Falk. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow in Week 7. And until then, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, ladies and gentlemen.